Hello, it's Lion here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're going to be doing our first manga review for the year. This is actually something I read last year, and I don't have every book with me, but I will show you the ones I have for clarity's sake. So today we're going to be looking at Cheese Sweet Home, volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4 of this nice edition by Vertical. And it's a whole series. I think there's a secondary series, but I'm not really sure if that's true or not. I didn't really check before the video. So I think there is something else. I think it's like Cheese Sweet Adventure or something like that. I'm not really sure though, but these are very, very nice. So Cheese Sweet Home is written by Konami Kanata. It's published by Vertical, as you guys can see right there. However, Vertical has been bought out by Kodansha, and it has been so for like 2 years now, I think. So these are technically Kodansha volumes. And the demographic here is seinen, which is kind of interesting because it's a very cutesy, gentle kind of story. You wouldn't really associate this with seinen, but it's the demographic of the magazine it's from. So yeah, the genres here are comedy, slice of life, and you could kind of say pet life. That's not really a genre, but it is kind of a subset of slice of life. There are certain slice of life books that are like that. This could also probably fit into the genre for healing, like for like therapeutic feelings. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the genre that Sweetness and Lightning and A Man and His Cat fall under, and I don't remember what that genre is called, but you know, whatever that genre is, Cheese Sweet Home fits into that as well. It does have an adaptation. It has an anime. I don't know if it's any good, but I'm sure it is because it's a very easy story to adapt. There really isn't anything, you know, crazy going on. And if, you know, you like this, you'll probably like the anime. So I don't see it being bad, but I'm not sure. I didn't really watch it. And the premise here is that there's this baby kitten who gets lost one day while they're walking with their mother. And they end up walking away and just continuously searching for their mother, but they never find her. And so one moment they kind of end up at this park, laying down, kind of lost and sad. And this little boy, I think his name is Yohei Yamada, I think, ends up right in front of Chi. And so the Yamada family adopts Chi, basically because they're like, okay, this is a stray, let's keep it for a while, let's take care of it. And then they fall in love with the little cat, and it becomes part of their family, and now they really can't leave it, right? And there's technically kind of a plot for every three volumes, or basically for every omnibus, but it's not really that big of a deal. It's not very overarching. However, like the first volume, the first omnibus deals with the adoption of Chi and dealing with the issues that come with living in an apartment that is not for pets. Then the second one deals with moving to a new apartment and the difficulties of getting a cat used to a new environment. And then the third one is about Chi's independence. And then this last one is about Chi finding out who they are and joining the Yamada family for their trip to a different country. And it's really, really cute. And it does end, and I think that other manga that I'm talking about, the Cheese Sweet Adventure manga, is like a continuation to this, but I'm not honestly sure, so I really couldn't tell you all that much about it. And yeah, so let's move on to the proper review here. Let's look at the plot line. And like I said, it's not very complex. Basically, it's chapter of the week. It's kind of adventure of the week. Whatever Chi is doing that day is what the story is about. It's not very long. Each chapter is probably like 5 or 6 pages. And they're not really 4-koma, but they're not very complex stories either. They're not very long. But it is a very enjoyable read. It's very adorable. Basically, there's a lot of different things that happen. Like I mentioned, each kind of omnibus deals with a different thing. And there is technically an overarching plot line from the beginning of the story to the end of the story, which is Chi finding, you know, their mother, and also Chi finding their own home. And technically, you could say that they did manage to find that immediately, but then everything else was about reaffirming that, if you really wanted to say it like that. But yeah, so mostly it's about the Yamadas becoming Chi's family, then Chi moving to a new house, then Chi finding like themselves as a person, or like as a cat or whatever, like coming of age type of story, and then choosing their own life. Chi deciding where they want to go, and overall, it's a very fun, very adorable story. It's something that I think most people will enjoy. If you like cats or pets of any sort, you'll have a good time reading about the adventures of this little kitty. So, yeah, in terms of characters, we have Chi, right? And then the Yamadas, which are Mom, Dad, and Yohei. And Chi calls them Mommy, Daddy, and Yohei because, well, they don't really know their names. So Mom and Dad's names are not very relevant, right? Then there's Blackie, who is the first adult cat that she meets. Then there's Auntie Calico, which is another adult cat. And then there's Kochi, who is Chi's little friend. Let me see if I can find him. It's this one right here. And then we have Mom, who is the original cat mother of Chi. And then there's a bunch of other side characters that kind of come and go that are not really all that important, but, you know, they kind of end up doing stuff here and there during the story. In terms of world building, there really isn't anything. It's just mostly setting building, developing the neighborhood that Chi lives in. Sometimes they give you maps about where Chi is going and where things are happening, but mostly it's just the Yamada's house or apartment place. I'm not really sure. So they live in an apartment first, and then they move to another apartment complex. It's more like a townhouse, I guess. And then the neighborhood around those two places, and this park, and then these other apartment complexes where other people live. So you basically just learn about those places. There really is no development of a world because there really is no secondary world to develop here. In terms of artwork, it's very cutesy. It's very adorable. It works really nicely for this series. Mostly it's really good with the kitty cats, and the human characters don't look that great, but they don't look that bad either. They're just kind of generic, you know, manga people. And yeah, in terms of a rating, this is a 5 out of 5. I think it's perfect. It's adorable. It's wonderful. There was moments where I got really emotional. There was moments where I had a lot of fun and I laughed and I, you know, had a lot of emotional reactions to this. There's a certain level of melancholy and nostalgia that I, you know, got because of these volumes, because of situations in my own life, having a pet as well. So I think it was really well written. I think it was wonderful. However, I do want to say that it's not something that I'm probably going to ever read again. It's something I'm going to keep because I do think I will read it eventually. But when I say that I'm not going to read it anytime, or like anymore, it really means that I'm not going to read it in the next 5 or 6 years. I probably will last quite a while, you know, being happy with what I read before I ever come back to this. It's going to be more of a nostalgia kind of melancholic feeling type of thing to come back to this a few years later and just kind of like remember stuff, right? So it's amazing. It's wonderful. I recommend it if you guys like it. And if you have children or small kids or, you know, whatever, you know, small children, or, you know, people that are very emotionally attached to animals, you should definitely give this to them. It's a very good story. And I think it's going to be good for anyone to read. So yeah, that's my review on Chi's Sweet Home. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you guys think about Chi's Sweet Home. Also, I have a coffee. If you guys are interested in helping me out, you know, by dropping a little tip there. But if not, it's no big deal. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and see you guys later.